down in the D, where Dragon Meade Brewing has got 50 of their own beers on tap. Good luck trying all those in one night, all on this episode of the Great American Brew Trail.
My name is Amy Sherman. I'm a chef, I'm a mom,
And I'm a beer drinker. Shocking, I know.
That's right, I'm a girl who really likes beer.
Out of the way, boys. What are we drinking?
I mean, why wouldn't I drink beer? As a chef, I love the variety of local ingredients, and I appreciate what it takes to create a great beer. In fact, I've been a home brewer for years. All across the United States, microbreweries are popping up with plenty of atmosphere, plenty of local foods, and of course, plenty of beer. We'll see the ins and outs and the ups and downs behind the taps at some of the country's best microbreweries.
So join me on the Great American Brew Trail as I taste my way across the USA, one pint at a time.
My name is Amy Sherman. I'm a chef, I'm a mom,
And I'm a beer drinker. Shocking, I know.
That's right, I'm a girl who really likes beer.
Out of the way, boys. What are we drinking?
I mean, why wouldn't I drink beer? As a chef, I love the variety of local ingredients, and I appreciate what it takes to create a great beer. In fact, I've been a home brewer for years. All across the United States, microbreweries are popping up with plenty of atmosphere, plenty of local foods, and of course, plenty of beer. We'll see the ins and outs and the ups and downs behind the taps at some of the country's best microbreweries.
So join me on the Great American Brew Trail as I taste my way across the USA, one pint at a time. Dragon Meade is located in Warren, Michigan, which, believe it or not, is the third largest city in Michigan. Dragon Meade has an incredible beer list with over 50 different beers on tap at any given time, and all of them brewed right here. If you can't find a craft beer you like here, you can't find a craft beer you like anywhere.
I personally think that the brewers here are beer geeks, and that's all they care and that's all they do. And they focus on brewing delicious beer.
These aren't bars, they're different, the breweries are different than bars, so they're just comfortable to be in, the people are great, they have good beer.
They do an excellent job with Belgian beers, which I think is one of the harder styles to get right. Not a whole lot of places do it, even fewer places do it right.
52 beers on tap, and it's not the normal everyday style.
They have a place, they're making themselves known.
They welcome everybody, they welcome our family, they've known our babies since they were tiny.
Dragon Meade is a welcoming place, and once I met the members of Dragon Meade, I started to realize why. Not only are they brewing some spectacular beers, these guys have created a unique way of doing business, a way that all of them are truly equal partners.
There's only one title at Dragon Meade. It's member or employee. They actually call me the big member. We decided not to have titles because it's always stupid. Somebody's the president, somebody else is the secretary.
And what's your title here?
As Larry pointed out earlier, a member.
Sometimes, having three partners goes against you. They picked the name Dragon Meade and you weren't a big fan of it.
I've learned to love it.
All of your opinions are valid. While we will argue, there's never a time when we say, oh, you're stupid, or, well, I'm the boss. So it's really nice. It's a true partnership.
A true partnership between some true friends. The members of Dragon Meade got started just like everyone else, home brewing. But through their learning curve, they kept it light by laughing, and they are still laughing now.
This started in Earl's Garage. Is when we'd click our glasses, we would laugh very loudly. And the reason for that was when we first started home brewing, we were really, really working hard. And we were laughing all the time. The stuff would squirt all over us. We wouldn't do something right. And after a few months, it got to the point where we were very professional. Everything worked really well. And one day, Earl's wife, Sue, came out and said, is everything okay? You guys never laugh anymore. And it was because it was just boom, 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 boom. It's all going through really well.
So professional.
So from that point on, every time the three of us toast, we do that all the time.
I have to say, toasting with these guys is really hilarious. Things are working really well here at Dragon Meade, but it took a little work to convince all the members that opening a brewery was a good idea.
You cannot be the same as your partners. You have to be different. And all three of us have a totally different orientation. And at some point we started brewing, and we started brewing for a medieval wassail feast. At one point, Bill came up to me and said, "Larry, I think we should start a brewery." The first words out of my mouth were, "Bill, that is the stupidest thing you have ever come up with. Why would anybody ever want to buy our beer over anybody else's beer that's out there?"
15 years ago when we started, it was very difficult to go in and talk to a distributor. We thought our initial business plan was going to be 80% distribution, so we just have it flying out the back doors. And when we actually went to talk to these distributors, they wouldn't talk to us. You know, no, I don't want to carry that right now. I truly don't know when and how it happens, but all of a sudden we're getting everybody knocking at the door saying, I need to have this beer.
I am drinking the Dead Monk Abbey Ale. I like it. It's got a little raisiny. It reminds me a little of a barley wine. It's got that darker kind of raisiny taste to it.
It's a really homey type place where you know everybody. They take their beer seriously, but it's still a friendly place.
This happens to be the Castle Bread, which is the apricot wheat beer. And I prefer the lighter beers. It's got a great quality.
I am drinking Final Absolution mixed with Castle Bride. It's really tasty. You should try it.
I am drinking the Killer Bee. This is actually the first time I've had it. I like it mainly because of the Belgian yeast and the high percentage of alcohol.
We felt it was really, really important that everyone who comes in has the best experience possible.
I had the best experience possible at Dragon Meade. So many different beers to try, you'll have to come back again and again to try them all, which is awesome! See how many of Dragon Meade's beers I tried next on the Great American Brew Trail.
What's not to love at Williams Kitchen and Bath?
Do you always find yourself looking for more cabinet space? Does it feel like you need more room for all the chefs in your house? If so, it's time to visit Williams Kitchen and Bath. Williams offers the best selection from top cabinet makers. Stop in today and experience the Williams difference.
What's not to love at Williams Kitchen and Bath?
Normally on the Great American Brew Trail, this is when we talk to the chef about the great food the brewery has. And Dragon Meade Brewing in Warren has a few bar snacks you can grab at the pub, but their real focus is on creating an amazing variety of beers. When they're not playing Dungeons and Dragons, of course.
Well, actually, I started playing it in college when there was only a little 18-page pamphlet for how to play it.
Right.
Larry introduced me to it, and we started playing. He was the dungeon master.
Dungeon Master? Larry, you are a man of many talents.
The whole medieval theme really gives you the latitude, and it allows you to be really creative.
And creativity is brewing at Dragon Meade, brewing at the rate of 3 barrels at a time.
Here at Dragon Meade, they have a very, very unique system. It's only a 3-barrel system, which is tiny, and it starts right here.
Yep. This is what's called the mash tun, so this is the beginning of the process on the hot side.
And then it comes on over here.
Once the sugar's extracted, the next thing you want to do is you want to separate all of that wonderful sugar water from the raw grain.
And then it comes over here to the boil kettles.
Yep. And we have 2 boil kettles. The purpose for that is so that we can run the brew house like an assembly line. This is the whirlpool, and just like getting rid of the solid grain material in the lauter tun, we need to get rid of the vegetative matter from the hops.
All right, so then we head up here.
Yep. So up here we have all of our fermenters. Our fermenters are open fermenters, so they're not closed to the environment.
Right, they're not sealed.
They're not sealed.
You have, almost 50 different beers that you're making, but you have how many different kinds of yeast that you're using?
We have about 10 or 12 different strains we're using. This is our grain room here. It's where we store all of our grain.
Now this is crazy to me because you have so many different beers, so therefore you have so many different malts and grains. I mean, look at all these different kinds.
At Dragon Meade, variety is the spice of life. And with all these different beers, there are plenty of chances for a little family nepotism.
Well, they call me the Reverend. There's a beer named after me, Reverend Fred's Oatmeal Stout. My son is the head brewer here. He came home one day to our house and said, "Dad, I've got a recipe that I want to name after you, Reverend Fred's Oatmeal Stout." And I've tasted it, and I enjoy it a lot.
So every member at Dragon Meade brings a different talent to the table, or to the bar, as the case may be.
I'll make one. As the demand grew, I would continue to make sections, tear down walls to be able to accommodate our patrons, and this is where we are today. And of course, we're in the throes of yet another phase of tearing things down.
Exactly, another great big expansion.
Right.
One of the beers that actually makes it into bottles at Dragon Meade is the Final Absolution, and it is one beer that you want to take seriously.
We're probably most proud of a Belgian beer that we make, Final Absolution. And in 2006, we entered that in a beer competition, the World Beer Cup, and we actually won a gold medal. It's really nice to get validation in, especially a worldwide setting, to say our products will stand up to any of those that are out there.
So these guys are all members of Dragon Meade, but two of them are also members of the same family. Earl is Bill's father-in-law.
I'm sad to say yes.
You couldn't leave him if you wanted to.
No, but you have to visualize, here's this long-haired, bearded guy coming in to date my daughter, and oh my God.
Wait a minute, he had long hair?
Oh, yeah. Well, he had hair.
He had hair. You have been together for a while.
I had hair then, too.
These guys are having so much fun brewing up all this crazy beer, and they are getting ready to brew even more.
What we're really looking for in the future is a second system that's already being designed, and then we'll increase our variety. What it amounts to now is we want to make every single beer sub-style made in the world. There were 139 at the last World Beer Cup.
So you're going to make 139 different beers out of this little place?
Ultimately, yeah.
What's most important at the time is the evaluation that your customers give your beer.
Their beer is great here.
They take pride in their beers.
I love just the diversity.
After we get done sailing on Saturday afternoons here in Great Lake St. Clair, we come here for a couple beers.
I like the fact that there's so many different styles from all different countries across the world.
I think I've only just scratched the surface here at Dragon Meade Brewing after having a Reverend Fred Stout, a Final Absolution, an Under the Kilt, a wee bit heavy Angry Dragon. How the heck am I even still standing? But seriously, this beer is made with the finest ingredients by some of the biggest beer geeks around, and it is amazing. So whether you're downtown Detroit enjoying a dirty blonde under the tank set at Water Brewing Company, or you're up in Warren, Michigan at Dragon Meade trying to decide between over 50 different beers on tap, a trip to Detroit for craft beer is sure to be a great time. So join me next time on the Great American Brew Trail as I taste my way across the USA, one pint at a time.
An apprentice to metal model maker. It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is. Perfect. You passed your first test. Congratulations. You fluff his beer.
Yeah, fluff the beer.
He comes in very early in the morning.
So somebody's like, don't come in yet.
That's right. It's dark and quiet, and it's just, it's quiet, it's romantic.
Hey, you have to go all over again.